With this recipe, I'm making about 4 loaves of sourdough bread. So for that, I'm taking about 2000 grams of flour, 1500 grams of warm water, 50 grams of salt, and about 500 grams of my bubbly starter. I will start by measuring my starter first. Start adding 500 grams of my starter. Next, I will add the water in the starter together and start mixing everything together. At first, I'm not adding all of my water because for the flour I did mix. It's half whole wheat and half all-purpose flour. So I'm doing 50-50. So I'm gonna try to play around with the proportions of water a little bit, just to make sure. And now I'm gonna start adding my flour. Same process. I will start mixing it, everything together. I will slowly start adding more water. Next, I'm going to mix everything together using my hand. We are going to leave the salt at this stage just to allow the water, flour, and starter to mix in. Once everything is incorporated, I'm going to cover the dough and leave it in a warm spot and keep the salt nearby so I don't forget. After 1 hour, as you can see, the dough has risen quite a bit. So in total, we are going to do 3 stretch and folds. The first one is after 1 hour, and the second 2 will be after 30 minutes each. For this first one, we are going to add the salt also, so we will be doing few extra folds or trying to mix everything very well. I'm kind of going to sprinkle the salt layer by layer just to make sure that everything is incorporated very well. The salt itself, I think they say that it impacts fermentation somewhat so that's why we don't add it at the initial stage. But once the flour and water has that time together to for the water to hydrate the flour, then I think the impact is much more less. So this is again after 30 minutes. So I'm again same thing, stretch and fold on itself, and you will notice that as after each stretch and fold, the dough is getting stronger and we are not able to do more than a few. So for this one, I'm going to use the coil technique, as they call it, and just left and drop on itself. After doing a couple of these, I'm going to cover the dough and leave it for the bulk fermentation. This is after 2 hours. So my bulk fermentation is now complete, and now we are going to start shaping our loaves. For that, I'm going to sprinkle some flour on the work surface and drop all of my dough so I can cut the dough in the number of loaves that I am planning to make. I'm not going to be too strict, so I'm going to eyeball it and leave it at that. And once you have the dough together a little, so it's easier to cut, you will take your scraper and then cut the dough and kind of stretch it out so it separates easily. As you can see, the dough is much more workable at this point. So to shape the dough, you're gonna kind of spread it out as I shown, and then stretch and fold. Same thing on each side. The idea is to create tension within the dough. So after the first one, you will repeat the same process again. Stretch the dough again and fold on itself. This time I'm going to roll the dough from one end to the next. I have already floured my bennetons, and I'm going to now put the dough ball on my loaves and the benneton seam side up. So after I have done all of my loaf, I left them overnight in the fridge, and this is the next day. So for the baking stage, I am going to sprinkle some flour on the parchment paper, and then flip my dough on top of it. I'm going to dust some of the flour and then start scoring the loaf. I'm also going to use two different techniques today: the open bake and baking in a Dutch oven. So I have my oven on at 450, and I have my Dutch oven already in the oven. So for these two, I am going to use the open bake technique, but the first loaf I bake that using the Dutch oven. So I'm going to put some ice in the tray that I keep under the loaves. That helps with creating that steam. So this is the loaf that I made in the Dutch oven. And then I'm going to show you the comparison with the other loaves that I have made in using the open bake technique. And as you can see, the two loaves that were made in the Dutch ovens and the two others that were made using open bake look very different. The golden colored ones are the ones that I made in the Dutch oven. So that's one difference. And I'm going to show you the inside also once they have cooled down a little bit, so I can cut into them. So to show you the inside, this is the moment of truth. I would say there is definitely difference in the color, and also I would say that the loaves that were made in the Dutch oven are bigger compared to the open baked ones. So it looks like the loaves that were made in the Dutch oven did fluff up or are bigger. So to hold them next to each other, to show you how the size difference, I'm hoping that flavor wise they will be both very flavorful, but definitely there are main differences. So thank you for tuning in, and please like and subscribe if you would like to see more similar content. Thank you.